I know, we're on a weight loss journey. What do you mean you're baking sugar cookies? Good morning, everyone. Whew, it's chilly this morning. I need to get a better jacket. Welcome back to my channel. So, hey, if you're new here, I'm Lauren, and I am on a journey to lose 150 pounds. We're so close, guys. We're getting so close to that 50 pounds down. And today is weigh-in week 6. So we're gonna see if we're gonna do it today. I am coming to you from a walk. So I announced this past weekend on my Instagram, I'm doing a 1 mile a day for 30 days walking challenge. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, make sure you go head over there and click that follow button so you can keep updated when I do special announcements like that, be the first to know, as well as a lot more daily life content, recipes, what I eat in a day. All that stuff, a lot of it goes up on my Instagram first. So head on over there so you are following along. We are on day 3 of the walking challenge, and I might be filming here and there while I'm doing the challenge over the next 30 days. However, I will definitely have a before and after results video go up sometime in December. So keep your eye out for that. And today we have our week 6 weigh-in, and I'm also sharing a few of my top tips on how to stay stress-free when you're on a weight loss journey during the holidays, particularly Thanksgiving. Morning bird, sorry. Particularly Thanksgiving is coming up in just under 2 weeks now, and my family is also moving that week into our new house. So there's a lot going on, and I've just had to be on top of my prep game and get my head and ideas together, and I wanted to share all of those with you guys this morning. So stay tuned. All that's coming up next. Okay, guys, let's get right into our week 6 weigh-in. Okay, let's get to the numbers. Last week, I weighed in at 318 pounds. This week, I weigh in at 316.5 pounds. So that means I lost 1.5 pounds in the last week for a total weight loss of 48.5 pounds. You guys, I cannot wait. I am so close to that 50-pound mark. Now, let's go ahead and take a look. I want to share my top 5 tips on how to remain stress-free over this Thanksgiving holiday while you're on a weight loss journey. Holidays can be so triggering, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. I started getting really nervous about just how my progress would keep going if, we are moving and hosting the week of Thanksgiving, because that's happening. And I knew I just needed to get a game plan together, figure out my menu, how I can best set myself up for success to maintain and continue my weight loss through the holidays. So here are my top 5 tips on how to have a low stress Thanksgiving while on a weight loss journey. Tip number 1, skip appetizers. A lot of people are doing smaller get-togethers this year. For instance, it's only going to be me, my husband, our daughter, and my husband's grandfather who's coming in to help us with our move for Thanksgiving this year. I don't need a massive meal for everybody, including 3 courses. So we're gonna go ahead and skip appetizers this year. Even if you're having a bigger get-together, I suggest maybe inviting people later or planning to eat earlier from when you invite them. Instead of inviting people over for 2 o'clock and planning not to eat until 4 o'clock, invite people for 2 and do a 2:30 or 3 o'clock dinner time. This way, people will have time to come, mingle, have a drink, start chatting, and then all of a sudden, dinner's ready. Tip number 2, if anything can be made ahead of time, do it. So we are in the process of packing for our move in a couple weeks, and we are moving in literally 2 days before Thanksgiving, guys. So what I'm going and doing now this week, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, is I've listed out my menu and kind of figured out what I'm making. And of those items, is there anything I can make ahead and freeze, or is anything that I'm making going to be able to be canned in a way that it's fresh and ready to go, or all you have to do is pop it in the oven to warm up? on Thanksgiving Day. For me, that means I have gone ahead and pre-made my homemade cranberry sauce and canned it. And I've also gone ahead and made our butternut squash mac and cheese. So delicious. I've actually already posted about this recipe once in a previous video. I will link it down below for y'all. I've already gone ahead and made that. I'll be putting it in an aluminum freezer pan, sealing it up and putting it in the freezer so we can quickly and easily transport it to the new house, into the new freezer, and then it's ready to go for Thanksgiving. It's a must-do side because it may very well be the only thing my 2.5-year-old eats on Thanksgiving Day. So it's always great to have a mac and cheese option if you have lots of kiddos around. And we're sneaking in a veggie too. Tip number 3 is balance your kitchen. When I go through and make my dinner menu for Thanksgiving or a holiday, or even when I have a big party coming over, I'm entertaining in any way, I take a look not only at what recipes work well together and what I want to serve, but I also look at what type of cooking they require. Does it need to go in the oven? Does it need to go on the stove top? Can I put it in the crock pot? Can I do something in the air fryer? So that's really important. Balancing your kitchen, it will help you on your timeline and have everything come out hot and ready to go at the same time at dinner. And it also balances you. You're not getting all nervous and anxious that the gravy hasn't reduced yet, but I have to get the mashed potatoes on to heat up. Those kinds of things. Save yourself the stress. Figure out your meal plan in a way that helps you be most productive and stay on your timeline in the kitchen. Tip number 4 is if you're worrying about counting calories or your Weight Watchers points on a holiday, when you are the one who gets to plan the recipes, or even if you're bringing a side dish to someone else's holiday that they're cooking, find a recipe where you can make individual portions. That way you know when you're building up your delicious Thanksgiving plate, if I take this, it's 1 serving of this side. And in my head, I know how many calories or points they are, and it's gonna put me at peace of mind. For instance, this year, instead of doing the classic green bean casserole, we're going to be doing green bean bundles wrapped with a piece of bacon. They're single portion size servings, so you grab a bundle, and I'm not worrying about loading up my plate with too many giant scoops of green bean casserole and having no idea what I've eaten that day or how many points or calories I've put into my mouth. Tip number 5 is enjoy this time with your family and friends. No amount of stress over counting calories and points and worrying about the food, all of that angst and stress is going to take away from your holiday. Let the stress go for today and enjoy it. And then the rest of the week, stay on top of what you're eating, save those weekly points for the special day. And then I even suggest ahead of time what I'm doing is looking up a few different meals that I can use leftovers in that are gonna work on my Weight Watchers points. That way I'm not worried about just repeating my giant plate of Thanksgiving yumminess day after day after day for the first few days after Thanksgiving. Instead, I can repurpose some of those dishes into a new meal for my family that I'm going to know and be aware of the points on. So I already mentioned on my Instagram, I'm going to be putting up new crock-pot and one-pot meals every Sunday. So make sure you're following along and make sure you definitely tune in the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I have a few ideas that'll be going up on my stories for Weight Watchers friendly leftover recipes. It's a good one. I can't wait for you guys to check it out. Would it be one of my videos if I didn't do a segment from my car? Okay guys, so real quick, I also needed to share with you this week's part of my November Thankfulness Challenge. And of course, where better to go when Josh is actually home for a morning and having some daddy time with Lila, but to Starbucks. So in case you guys are wondering, I love the Starbucks holiday drinks, and they're a big weakness for me when I'm on my WW journey. However, one thing I've realized is if you ask for any of their holiday drinks with almond milk, or I guess you could probably add soy. You just have to check the points on that. I've always added almond milk. It cuts the points a ton. And I also ask for half the syrup. So typically they do 4 pumps of syrup in like a grande size drink. And so I ask for half, which would be 2. It significantly cuts the points without cutting the flavor. So try that out next time. Today I have a grande caramel brulee latte with almond milk and 2 pumps of the creme brulee syrup. And this is going to come in only at 6 points, which isn't terrible for a specialty Starbucks drink. So yummy too. Guys, I'm telling you, after the week of being really good and only having black coffee with a tablespoon of organic coconut cream and some cinnamon added to it, this tastes like candy, even though it's half the sweetness. So let's get into my thankfulness challenge. I'm gonna try and roll through these, but here's the graphic one more time if you guys want to be following along with my thankfulness challenge. 2020, it's kicked our butt, let's be honest. But there's still so much to be thankful for, and I've really been appreciating being able to take a moment and acknowledge the things in my life that I've been thankful for. So as I've gone through the week, each day, you do it based on the date. Each day I've written down something that I'm thankful for in that category. If you want, make sure you share your thankfulness items or a few of them down in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys the things that are going great in your life and what you're thankful for even during this stressful time. For day 9, it's a blog or website that I'm thankful for. Now, I don't follow a ton of blogs, but I use them all the time through Pinterest. I'm going to go ahead and just say Pinterest as a website because that's the way I'm able to find so many fun new blogs and really find people who are posting recipes and about their weight loss journey. I find looking things like that up really helps me and supports me do my best on my journey. So I'm thankful to people who write blogs and share their experiences with others. Number 10 is a time of day I'm thankful for. And I mean, there are so many great periods of time in the day that I feel like, you know, there's time when I have playtime with Lila that I really enjoy. I love when my husband's home in the evening and we get our special alone time after Lila goes to bed. But I am such an extroverted introvert. And I mean that I'm very outgoing and bubbly in person when I meet people, but I have a lot going on inside my head that I don't share all the time. And so what I will say as a time of day that I'm thankful for, not necessarily my favorite, but that I'm thankful for, is I often do early mornings, especially on days that I have videos going up. Just if I don't have the time to finish editing before an upload, I'll wake up early instead of staying up super late. I am much more of an early morning person than a late night owl. And I love getting up early. The house is quiet. It's just a nice time for me to get through things that are on my list, that are on my mind, and just relax and reset for the day. Day 11 is a tradition. Obviously, with the holidays coming up, the first thing that came to my mind is every year, Josh and I, and now Lila, we make sugar cookies and decorate them together. And actually, before we moved here from Chicago, Josh and I hosted an annual Christmas cookie party. That was like our holiday party we did for our friends and family. And everyone would bring a dozen or 2 of their favorite Christmas cookie, and there was like a swap, so everyone took home like a mixed plate of cookies, and it was just a nice time to enjoy with friends and family at the holidays. It was a fun party, and it's not happened last year just because we didn't really know a whole lot of people, and we were back in Chicago for the holiday visiting, so we didn't have like our own home base to throw a party out of. But now this year, it's probably not going to happen with COVID and everything. You know, we're not going to be throwing a big holiday party this year. So that does make me sad, but we are going to keep our tradition of baking our sugar cookies. I know, we're on a weight loss journey. What do you mean you're baking sugar cookies? So I am experimenting and trying to create a recipe for a tasty and delicious sugar cookie that's a lighter version. But I'm hoping to figure that one out and be able to share it. All right, day 12 is a favorite gadget, and I gotta say, my crock pot. I use that thing multiple times a week. I consider it one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. And it's so easy, and it makes your life so nice just to be able to throw stuff in the morning and have a delicious dinner for your family at night. There's so many ways to use it for healthy, WW friendly options for dinner. So that's my favorite gadget right now. Something old. I gotta say, is my car. She's definitely old. I actually bought her from my sister's in-laws. They had the car. Oh my goodness, I think it's a 2007. So she's old, but she's sturdy. She runs well. We have no payment on it. And you know what? We got to the point with our family, we needed an SUV. That big old car seat back there was not fitting in my Corolla anymore. Once we needed to move up from Lila's infant seat. So I am super thankful that we got this car. It's been so nice for our family when we go on long road trips to visit our family, or when we go camping in the summer to have the extra space. And I'm really thankful that we were able to get a bigger car. Something new. Well, I will say it's not new, but it's new to us, is the new house that we're going to be moving into. So it is not new by any means. It is a 2005 build, and it is very basic. It is not anything glamorous, but you know what? I am so thankful that we're going to be moving out of our apartment and into our first house. It has a backyard that's fenced. It has plenty of bedroom space. We can have family visit or an office. It has a bigger kitchen, which ours drives me crazy right now, which you guys know if you've watched any of my Cook With Me videos. I just have no counter space. And I'm just so thankful that we have this opportunity to move into a bigger place. And I'm really excited. We're like 1 week away from getting our keys, guys. I can't wait. Okay, and day 15, that's today, I had to think about it for a second, is an experience that I'm thankful for. And I would definitely have to say, so I went to college and got my bachelor's degree in theater, specifically in production, stage management, arts administration kind of stuff. And I'm thankful that I studied that because it gave me the experience of living in multiple areas of our country as a young adult. While doing theater in my early career, before I ended up deciding to stay home with Lila once we moved down here to Georgia, and when my husband started his new job. That's just how it worked out. And before that, though, I lived in Nebraska for a summer. I was in Missouri for a hot second. I lived in New Hampshire for a while in the Northeast. And now we're living in the Southeast in Georgia. And I grew up in Illinois, which is the Midwest. I feel like I've gotten to experience the seasons, the people, the culture, the food of a lot of different areas of our country. And that was such a great and molding experience for me as a young adult. And I'm really thankful for that. Well, anyway, that's going to wrap up our thankfulness segment of this video. Don't forget to check back next Monday on week 7 weigh-in, and I'll also be sharing the next week of my thankfulness challenge. Thanks so much for joining me for today's video where I shared my week 6 weigh-in and some tips about keeping your Thanksgiving stress-free while you're on a weight loss journey. Don't forget to check back on Thursday's video. I'm sharing my full meal plan for Thanksgiving, as well as some of the recipes I'm going to be making Thanksgiving Day. These are going to include everything from my favorite standbys to some great Weight Watchers lighter versions, so you don't have to feel quite as guilty on Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong, this is not going to be a 10-point Thanksgiving dinner. There is still definitely some indulgence involved, but at least it's a way to more easily keep track of those points. The holiday is to be celebrated. We'll check back for that video later this week on Thursday. And until next time, bye! Where I'm actually going to be sharing my Thanksgiving Day menu as well. Bless you. Don't forget to check back for this Thursday's video where I'm going to be sharing my full Millie. Take 3. And then don't forget to check back on Thursday. Story of my life.
But I get up, I always do.